A little bit of time with the YouTube. Hold on.
Okay, good evening and welcome to the March 28th special meeting of the Board of Estimate and Taxation. Madam Clerk, would you call a roll, please?
Mayor Rilling,
Here.
Mr. Abrams,
Here.
Mr. Constant, Mr. Frere,
Here.
Mr. Jelleret,
Here.
Mr. Cassimis,
Here.
Ms. Yang.
Here.
6, we have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, we have 2 items on our agenda tonight. First is setting the capital budget cap for FY 23-24. And the second is to vote on the FY 23-24 tentative operating budget. Can I get a motion to move can I get someone to move the capital budget discussion and vote?
Motion.
Artie? Okay. Madam Clerk, would you mind reading the resolution on the capital budget, please?
Resolution. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Estimate and Taxation of the City of Norwalk that the capital budget for the fiscal year 2023 to 2024, which will be transmitted on April 3rd, 2023, has a total of 49,640,145 less 1,199,453 in revenue, resulting in an amount of 48,440,692 to be bonded. City and Norwalk Public Schools total is 36,540,692. Enterprise funds, WPCA and Parking Authority total is 11,900,000.
Thank you. Any questions, discussion related to the capital budget cap?
Can I just say something just for a point of clarification, Ed?
Sure, Tom.
So the reason we point out the difference between the city and public schools total separately from the enterprise funds, recall that when we bond, we borrow on behalf of the enterprise funds as well. Simply for economies of scale, it does make sense for them to hire bond advisors and attorneys and so on and so forth. So we add up the total amount and bond that together. However, the enterprise funds do pay for their own debt. They are self-funded, and that amount does not count towards the thresholds, if you will, by the rating agencies in terms of how much we have borrowed. So just a point of clarification there.
Thank you, Tom.
Tom, can I just ask a question on it? When one of the other districts, because I know in Rowayton, there is some bonding done on behalf of Rowayton, does that work the same way? Where it would not be included in the threshold for rating?
I haven't seen anything specifically for the 6th district, Jim.
No, it may not be there now, but well, I think there's still a little bit left over that we have to still continue to pay. For example, we renovated the community center at one time, and bonding for that, or the loan for that was combined with the bonding for the city, and then the district reimbursed it. I was just curious. I mean, it wasn't a lot of money, but I was just
Okay,
curious.
so you're not talking about a new request for 24. You're talking about an existing one and whether or not they're
I'm
still
just saying
paying.
about the whole procedure.
Okay, it could very well be in it. If you ever look at these debt service schedules, there are quite a few pages and a lot of different line items, the different percentages, the different delivery dates, the principal, the interest, so on and so forth. So if you want me to chase that, I can find out.
Okay, it's nothing really important.
Okay.
You probably have other things to do.
Any other questions or comments related to the capital budget? Let the record show that Kendrick has joined the meeting or is about to join the meeting, just so everybody is aware of that. I see his audio is still connecting. Given there's no other discussion, we'll let's move the item to vote. We've already moved the entire item, so all in favor of the capital budget cap as written, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, the capital budget is approved. All right, let's move to the second item, please. The fiscal 23-24 tentative operating budget. Again, we've been through all of the numbers multiple times as it relates to that budget. We are at the point where we actually must transmit this tonight to the Common Council. We're actually 24 hours behind the commitment to transmit our budget recommendation to the Common Council. I know we have been back and forth on a number of different items here, but at this point, we need to consider all of the numbers from finance final. Any questions, comments, discussion related to the proposed operating budget?
Do we need to move it, Ed, first? or-
I'm sorry, thank you, Troy. Can we move the operating budget?
So moved.
Thank you, Troy.
I can share a screen of the summary if need be.
Any questions, comments related to the FY 23-24 operating budget?
Well, just to be sure, what we are voting on is the version that was sent out just the other day.
Yes, it's the version that's attached to this particular package. Tom, you would just want to show the summary,
Yeah, no, it's
so you make sure they have the same numbers.
part of the agenda. And Can everybody see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the summary by division, happens to be in alphabetical order. But recall that in all of our discussions, we ended up with an increase of 2.29% over the 23 approved budget, 4% for the Board of Ed and 0.4% on the city side. And that was a result of the nearly $700,000 in additional cuts that the BET recommended over the last couple of weeks.
So these numbers have not changed from our last discussion.
That's correct.
Any
Just to
addition-
just
Go
to
ahead.
clarify one more point was that this doesn't include the other $100 million that was in the original cap, right?
I'm sorry, Jim, there's some feedback on the line. Could you repeat that?
This does not include the original $100 million that was included in that the Common Council had raised. Correct?
That is correct. Our budget is below the mayor's original recommendation by roughly $695,000 and below the Common Council cap of by $1.695 million.
Correct. Okay, good.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
I'd just like
All
to
in-
make
go ahead.
One quick comment on the revenue side. Did you send that revenue analysis to everybody? Because I thought it was kind of interesting. Because
Yeah, I did. That went to the whole BET this morning.
just like to point out that, there are 52 accounts in there that showing a surplus of about $5.8 million. And is there, my only other question would be the rest of those items that were on that revenue list that are not yet at, because that's as of March 31st, I believe. So you got another quarter that's going to be in there. My question is, can we count on that 5.8 million revenue to hold? I mean, or are we still going to be less than what, close to what you're showing now? You're showing a deficit of about 27 million, I think, I don't have the number in front of me, but you show a deficit of about 27 million still to come in the fourth quarter.
Well, I think it's a little early to carve it in stone, but certainly we look pretty good at this point in the year.
Okay,
As we hear Lisa speak monthly, the tax collections are going very well, and that's hands down the largest component. The extra pilot funding help, that was $2 million there. And again, as we heard during the BET meetings, especially from Bill Ireland, the building permits have been very, very strong this year, and there's no reason to believe that's going to slow down. And also on the town clerk side with Rick McQuaid, the conveyance tax is well over their target as well. So, yeah,
So
like I
the
said, 1
forecast
quarter to
is-
go, but I don't believe there's major concern at this point of not hitting our revenue target.
Or said another way, you expect that we'll probably be over it.
I
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
it's looking good. I would expect us to be over.
Okay, so it makes me feel a lot more comfortable if I look at that, and I can, the fact that we're taking money out of the fund balance to help reduce some of the impact this year. It helps me. I feel a lot more comfortable knowing that we're probably going to replenish that somewhere near that amount to the general fund right after the year ends. So that's good.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, there's no hard commitment on that, but it's trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
Just to keep Tom from having feel like he had to make a commitment. All right. Any other comments related to the FY23, FY24 operating budget?
No.
All in favor of the tentative budget as we have reviewed and presented it, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? The budget passes. Tom, we can go ahead and draft a transmit letter, and I'll go ahead and sign it on behalf of the BET so that we can then get that over to the Common Council.
Right, actually, Ed, you're gonna have 2 transmittal letters, one for capital and one for operating. Pretty straightforward for me to update. I will have those ready for you as soon as possible and then get them off to the Common Council.
All right, I will turn them around as soon as I see them, I promise you. All right, seeing no other business for this evening, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, have a nice evening, everybody. Thank you very much for all your hard work on the budget. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for your leadership.
Good night.
Thanks, Tom.
Night.